This is Voices in the Stone, Episode 4. Stone remembers weight. Not only footsteps, but authority. Before prayers filled this valley, before bells shaped the dark, another sound ruled this hill. Iron, horse breath, the language of command. Men who did not whisper their purpose, they carved it into land, into bloodlines, into tombs. Their prayers were shorter, their memories heavier, their names larger than their lives. This is the story of the Somerys. Gervase Paganell built Dudley Castle. He raised stone from forest, claimed the hill, defied a king, and vanished into history. But power does not vanish. It changes hands. By marriage, by inheritance, by quiet agreements written in ink. In the 13th century, Dudley passed to a new family, a name that would bind itself to this valley for generations. Somery. Roger de Somery, knight, landholder, lord of Dudley. He did not rebel like Paganell, he endured. Where rebellion burns quickly, inheritance burns slow. Roger expanded the estate, strengthened the castle, bound himself to kings when it was useful, and to the church when necessary. The priory below the castle remained, not as master, but as asset. Land granted, tithes paid, prayers expected. The monks prayed for the souls of men who owned their fields. This was the economy of heaven. The knight's life began with training. Not prayer, not silence, but discipline of a different kind. Steel on steel. Horses taught to kill. Boys taught to harden. By 14, a squire. By 21, a knight. Their faith was muscular. God of banners, God of victories, God who forgave blood when it was spilled in the right name. Land was not scenery, it was currency. Each field a promise, each boundary a potential war. The Somery estate grew. Villages folded into their authority. Forests controlled. Rivers taxed. And Dudley Priory remained beneath it all, praying, recording, burying. Power above, prayer below. Monks were buried in silence. Knights were buried in stone. Within churches, near altars, where candles burned daily, where God could not avoid seeing them. Carved effigies, hands folded, sword resting across the chest, stone faces calm. Not because death was gentle, but because memory was controlled. A tomb was not grief. It was propaganda. A message to the future. I mattered. Roger de Somery the Younger inherited more than land. He inherited ambition. Records describe him as formidable, litigious, relentless in defending his rights. He quarreled with neighbors, with churchmen, with tenants, with anyone who mistook his patience for weakness. He rebuilt parts of the castle, expanded its defenses, stone upon stone, layer upon layer, like certainty. The priory became a ledger of power. Monks copied charters that transferred forests, recorded rents, blessed marriages that joined estates, and buried Somery dead in sacred ground. The monks prayed for men who taxed them, and meant it, because refusal was sin, and survival. Knights were not romantic. They were violent professionals. War in Wales, campaigns in Scotland, feuds at home. Arrows broke bones, swords crushed hands, infections ended careers. Knights died screaming as often as singing hymns. But their tombs showed none of it. Stone remembers only what it is told. The women of the Somery family rarely appear in chronicles, but they were architects of continuity, marriage treaties in human form. They bore heirs, held estates while men rode to war, arranged dowries, preserved bloodlines. Their names faded, their work endured. Power is often built by the silent. No dynasty notices its own weakening. Taxes rise, harvests fail, debts grow. The Somery male line ended in the 14th century. Through inheritance, Dudley passed again, to the Suttons. Another name, another house, same stones. The castle endured. The Priory endured. Power simply changed its handwriting. The Somery tombs remained, names carved deeper than memory. Visitors read them, historians copy them, tour guides speak them aloud. The monks below received no such carving. Their names dissolved, their graves flattened, their stories absorbed into soil. Castles rot differently from monasteries. Walls crumble outward, towers fracture dramatically. Their ruins are theatrical, photographed, visited. Monasteries disappear quietly, stone reused, altars broken into farm walls. Prayer rooms become sheep shelter. Power leaves monuments. Devotion leaves dust. Stand on Dudley Hill today. Castle above, Priory below. Two architectures, two philosophies. One carved its certainty into the skyline. The other carved discipline into flesh. One demanded memory. The other refused it. History remembers the loud. Stone remembers everything. Knights believed their world permanent. Monks believed their prayers eternal. Both were wrong. A century later, England would fracture. Kings would break with Rome. Churches would be emptied. Orders dissolved. Tombs would survive. Voices would not. Next, faith and power collide. Kings against popes, lords against priests. Excommunication, war, survival at the edge of legality. The Priory's most dangerous century, when prayer itself became political. This has been Voices in the Stone.